Hello children, welcome to the Narayana live classes. Today we are going to discuss in the part of assignment number 9 10th class chemistry. Our topic is classification of elements and the periodic table. Okay, ionization energy, electron affinity, electron gain enthalpy. Okay, see here we are going to discuss one by one. Our first question is, what do you mean by ionization energy? Okay, see here, ionization energy also called as ionization potential. Ionization energy also called as ionization potential. Here, what do you mean by ionization energy? It is the minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from an isolated neutral gaseous atom is called ionization energy. Okay, for example, it is the nucleus. See here, it is the valency electron. Okay, it is the minimum amount of energy required. It is the minimum amount of energy required. Minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron. To remove one outermost electron from the isolated neutral gaseous atom. That is called ionization energy. Here we are required isolated gaseous atom only. Okay, isolated means free of state. Okay, from that free of state of atoms we can easily remove the electron. Okay, so clearly it is the minimum amount of energy required to loosely bound electron, to remove the loosely bound electron from an isolated neutral gaseous atom is called ionization energy. Ionization energy can be measured in terms of kilocalories per mole and kilojoules per mole and in electronic volt per atom. Okay, see here, this is the ionization energy is endothermic process. Ionization energy is endothermic process because here it is requiring of energy. Okay, it is the minimum amount of energy required. Okay, taking of energy means, gaining of energy means endothermic process. Okay, next second question. What is electron affinity in periodic table? Okay, electron affinity. Electron affinity also called as electron gain enthalpy. Okay, electron affinity in periodic table. Actually, electron affinity increases across the period from left to right, and the electron affinity decreases as we move down the group. The electron affinity of an atom or molecule is the property for that particle to gain an electron. Actually, the electron affinity increases across the period from left to right, but decreases down the group. Okay, right. Next, third question. What do you mean by electron gain enthalpy? Okay, just now I told about this point. Electron gain enthalpy also called as electron affinity. Electron affinity, in short form we can write EA, electron affinity. So what is the meaning by electron affinity? Okay, it is the amount of energy released. Okay, it is the amount of energy released when an electron is added to outermost shell of an isolated neutral gaseous atom is called electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. When electron is added to outermost shell, some amount of energy released, that energy is called as electron affinity. Okay, see here, this is the electron affinity is exothermic process. Electron affinity is exothermic process because when an electron is added to the outermost shell, it releasing energy. Releasing of energy nothing but exothermic process. See here, electron affinity is exothermic process. Next, electron affinity can be measured in terms of electronic volt per atom or kilojoules per mole or kilocalories per mole. So this is the electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Okay. Next, fourth question. distinguish between electron affinity and electron negativity. Okay, electron affinity and electronegativity. See here, electron affinity is the property of isolated gaseous atom. Electron affinity is the property of isolated neutral gaseous atom, whereas electron negativity, it is about the bonded atom. Electronegativity tells about the bonded atoms, whereas electron affinity tells about the isolated gaseous atom. Okay. For example, HCl, hydrogen chloride. Between hydrogen and chlorine there is a covalent bond. Okay, chlorine is a more electronegative element than hydrogen. Okay, see here electronegativity tells about the bonded atoms, whereas electron affinity tells about isolated gaseous atoms. Next, these are having the units, electron affinity having the units. What are those? Kilojoules per mole, kilocalories per mole, or electronic volt per atom. Whereas electronegativity has no units, because electronegativity tells about the bonded atoms but not energy. Here electron affinity tells about the energy, so that's what it has the units, but electronegativity has no units because it tells about the bonded atoms. Okay. Next, it is the attraction of an atom for single electron. Okay, electron affinity is the attraction of an atom for a single electron, whereas electronegativity, it is the attraction of an atom to attract the pair of electrons. It is the attraction of an atom for a pair of electrons. See here hydrogen chloride, between hydrogen and chlorine one covalent bond is there. Okay, this one covalent bond indicates two electrons. Okay, these are the two pair of electrons. Hydrogen and chlorine, between hydrogen and chlorine there is a covalent bond. One covalent bond indicates two electrons. This is the pair of electrons. Okay, see here electronegativity is the attraction of an atom for a pair of electrons, whereas electron affinity is the attraction of an atom for a single electron. So these are the differences between electron affinity and electronegativity. Hope everyone understood. Thank you.